This is just a short video to talk a little bit about the three short answer questions. Since I was the grader of those three questions, I'll just talk a little bit about what I was looking for. And again, you can't read my mind, so it's not like I had to have that, but if there wasn't anything even close to that, then I generally, for most of you, would have made a note about why you didn't get the full points. So this is for exam 1, and let's look at question 31. And you can look at your exams. Your exams will be available to you for the entire semester. And in question 31, I ask, define a market and a command economy. And so in those definitions, when I'm asking you to define each of those, it's kind of like a compare contrast since they are the opposite of each other. So really what I was looking for there was that you had some notion that there was a great deal of government intervention with one, being the command economy, and no government intervention with the other, that being the market economy. And that in the command economy, then, to direct things, you do not need prices because the government does everything. But in a market economy, you do need prices to direct everything. So really in each of these, you need in each of those definitions, you do need those two core parts. One part being something about the role of the government, and then the second part being something about the role of the prices. In question 32, I ask what would be the effect on the equilibrium price and quantity if there were increased prices for a product, but also higher costs to produce it. So I was willing to accept you just telling me what the price and quantity would do if those things changed, but many of you also described how the curve actually shifted. So increased preferences for a product would increase the demand curve or shift the demand curve to the right. Higher cost to produce it would shift the demand curve to the left. Now, with both of those changing, then when both of those are changing, what that leads us to then have to talk about is you need to talk about the degree of the change in order to talk about how things are going to change. Here, you would have to say something that the equilibrium price will go up, but that the equilibrium quantity is either ambiguous, or you would have to say that the equilibrium price could go up, could go down, or could stay the same. And finally, in question 33, the question is, explain why free trade benefits everyone. How does everyone benefit from free trade? So that's two questions. Many of you did answer the first part. Well, actually, I should say this. Many of you answered one part of the two-part question. Fewer of you answered both parts of this. So let's talk about why free trade benefits everyone. And to describe that, why free trade benefits everyone, you need to have some sort of description of specialization happening, that countries are producing the good where they have a comparative advantage and they're specializing to be able to produce more of one good that they then trade with another. And that leads to the second part of this question, where I ask, how does everyone benefit from free trade? And the way that everyone benefits from free trade is that they are able to consume outside of the production possibilities frontier, meaning they're able to consume at a point beyond where they would be able to consume if they did everything themselves.